We want to welcome to the. Oh no, it's not the Big Max Morning
It's
Show.
not the
I
Big
almost
Max
said-
Morning Show anymore.
We want to welcome to the Eric and Mike podcast. This weekend's comedian headlining at Laugh Out Lounge, March. My gosh, what's the date this
14th
weekend?
and 15th.
The 14th and the 15th. I don't even know. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Jason Allen King. Welcome to the show.
Hey guys, how we doing?
Jason, how are you, my friend?
I'll tell you what. If I was better, it would be illegal. I am dynamite. I'm having a great time.
Now, you are a comedian. You're a stand-up comic, and you live in Charlotte. Is that correct?
That's correct. Charlotte, North Carolina.
Boy, that kind of just writes itself then, doesn't
I
it?
know.
Yeah, this is where I started it all. So yeah, I love Charlotte.
I actually used to live up in Charlotte for an entire
Really?
summer. Yeah, a friend of mine and I, Chris Carter. You know Chris.
Yeah,
Carter,
I know Chris.
Eric.
Yeah.
And we did shows. We did the Comedy Wild West show at Carowinds for a summer.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was what we still look back at as the greatest summer ever.
Oh, yeah?
Oh man, so much fun! I absolutely love Charlotte. I love Carowinds. I loved everything. I mean, that's the year of the craziness. But this interview isn't about me and my time in Charlotte.
No.
But
Let's talk about it.
well,
Let's
I
do
can
a
tell you.
police blog
I can tell
report.
you about the time that Chris took a shot of urine at a party. I can tell you about the time that I got completely naked at a party. I mean, there's a lot of crazy stories out of Charlotte.
So, Jason,
I
does
think
your
we should keep
stand-up
detail.
compare to that? Or
I got to be honest, it does not. No one's doing shots on my shows. I mean, not yet anyway. I mean, there's still time.
So for those people out there listening who don't know who Jason Allen King is, which I know that there are very few of, please tell them a little bit about yourself and how you got into the world of comedy and what you're up to these days.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I am. I've been sort of in the entertainment world for a while. I work in film production, have for about, I don't want to age myself too much, but going on 22 years or so. And of aspiring sort of screenwriter. I write some commercials and copy and things like that. And in an effort to be a filmmaker and to create my own projects I have a writing and producing partner, and we've done some feature films and some things. So to keep our, I would say our writing sharp, we started doing a video series called George and Monty Comedy Thing. And that sort of kind of took on a life of its own. And so I was like, all right, so I want to be a better joke writer. So I'm going to take a comedy class and sort of dive into this. Well, that comedy class was what changed kind of the trajectory of my life, because I was a week or two in learning structure. I'm online trying to figure out what's stand up, what is writing jokes, and I just really immersed myself in it. And about 2 weeks in, I remember I kind of told my girlfriend at the time, who also took the class, she kind of set it up. Well, I said, this is a little bit of a problem, because I'm enjoying every aspect of this. Obviously, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know much about anything. I mean, I'd written some sort of comedic scripts, but this was a completely different animal.
Wow.
And about the third week, the booker was one of the guys who teaches the class, kind of pulled me aside and said, hey, you're kind of pretty good. You might want to consider doing this. And that was the little bit of boost that I needed. And honestly, within 6 months, I was I was literally running around with different people. I was doing open mics 5 and 6 nights a week. I used to think I was a writer until I became a stand-up comic.
Oh,
now
yeah.
I'm a writer. Now I write every day.
Yeah, you
every
write all the
single day.
time, right? Yeah, you're writing.
Yeah.
Even when you're not writing, you're still writing whenever you're doing comedy.
Absolutely.
That's
right.
It's funny that you mentioned your film career, because I completely forgot. I absolutely loved you in Willow.
as the Peck.
Yeah, as Warwick Davis from Willow.
Warwick Davis, that's right. I've got him by a couple inches. But,
I just want to ask you, because you got to settle a debate for my fiance and I. I think that you have a very strong resemblance to him. You are just barely twice his height, but
yeah,
I think
mean,
you have a very
I'm
strong
fine.
resemblance. She says no way. Have you ever gotten that before?
I have not, but I got a pretty strong jaw. He's got a pretty strong jawline.
Yeah.
I think I can get that, but I mean, I'm a towering 5 feet tall, so I don't
Yeah.
think Warwick has me even close.
This is
I don't
great.
have the
This is
acting
great because
chops
Eric
that he has.
Eric has never met you before, so he's literally trying to picture what you running
Most
around
people
in
don't even-
furs.
Most people don't even know that I'm short until they see me in person, because photographs and stuff. You can't tell unless I'm standing next to somebody. And half the time when I get off stage, people are like, "Oh my gosh, wait a second, you're a lot shorter than you look on stage." Yeah, it's very deceptive.
Who let
very
the kid in?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Sorry, you have to be 21 to get in here.
you must be this tall to do jokes at this club.
Yeah.
That's right.
So how long has it been then since you started doing this? Did you mention? I forget if you mentioned that. How long have you been doing stand up?
I'm like 11 years, about 11 years in.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, and I after I kind of took that class, I said, if in 6 months I'm still doing this, I'm going to dive headlong in. And within 6 months, I won competitions at the Comedy Zone, and I started hosting for them. And so while I did a lot of open mics and things like that, I kind of really jumped into the professional side of it pretty quickly.
Mhm.
And I've been working with the Comedy Zone, damn near every other week for, since then. They've
Wow.
really kind of championed me, and then are putting me all over the place wherever they book. So
That's
so I've
awesome.
had that. And I also think that's because I didn't start when I was 21. I was in my 30s. And I think with that, you bring a certain professional. I was on my third career, comedy being my third career, a lot of life experiences. I've lived in different places. So I had, something to say. I had a perspective, and I approached it from probably a more professional, serious perspective than, say, a 22-year-old. No offense to any 22-year-olds who are trying.
It's kind of funny you mentioned that though, because a lot of people, like the younger comedians especially, they get into it thinking, oh, this is just gonna be fun, like we're gonna jerk off all the time and just and just jerk around and hang
Or
out
talk about it anyway.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, talk about it a lot, but they don't realize how much work actually has to go into it, especially today with like your social media and your things like that, where you've got to have a following, you've got to have a presence, and you've got to know how to put that stuff together. So I could definitely see where being a little bit older and more mature has its advantages.
Yeah, I think if you're serious about doing stand up, which again, that's the irony of that. It's like, yeah, you learn how to do it all. The days of it being a meritocracy, if they haven't ever really existed, I think are pretty gone. I mean, even in the time that I've been doing it, the importance of all other things outside of actually being funny on stage, they've all just sort of increased exponentially on their importance.
One thing that I always
being
tried to
funny is-
stress. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. One thing that
No,
I
go
always
ahead.
tried to stress when I spoke to college students getting into radio, and I think it goes into comedy or any entertainment, is the fact that it is a 24-hour-a-day job.
Right.
Because
That's right.
you're even if you just go to the grocery store or stop and get gas, you're going to see something that makes you laugh, or something that can apply to what we're going to talk about on the air, and you work it into a routine, or you work it into a bit, and so you are constantly working.
Yeah, it's an absorption thing, right? So if you're not trained to think that everything is a joke, like, you got to get yourself there. No matter what you're doing, what you're thinking about, just filter it. Get that comedy filter up, so you're always sort of thinking in joke terms. I think that's really important for sure.
I think that's a hard thing for a lot of a lot of comics think I've got to write a joke, and it does work that way sometimes. I mean, even in radio, Eric, that we have a punchline or an idea for a bit, and then we have to build around that.
Sure, yeah.
But then other times you're just at the grocery store, and the funniest damn thing happens because you said this, the clerk said that, and immediately without thinking you said you had a response, and then all of a sudden that becomes your best bit, and it's on your next comedy special. You know what I mean?
Right.
You just like you said, you have to have your awareness and absorbing everything.
All my comedy specials have been based on
Right,
that,
yeah.
Mike. going to Publix and going to local grocery stores.
Yeah, I think Eric's first comedy special is called Publix, isn't it? Yeah.
Life at the Circle K.
Yeah. Well, Jason, we're really looking forward to having you at the club this weekend, and I know that that people are really excited about it. And I want to offer a special discount to anybody who hears this over the next few days, and we'll give you 50% off if you use promo code EMP for Eric and Mike Podcast.
Oh, hey.
So EMP, 50% off to come out and see Jason Allen King this weekend, March 14th and 15th. Jason, thanks for joining us, man. We're going to let you run. We know you got a busy day ahead of you.
Heck yeah, no, I really appreciate it, guys. Thanks for taking time, and I'm excited about this weekend, my first time at the club, so I'm pulling out all the stops. People are going to be knocked out. I'm a guaranteed good time, man.
There we go. Yeah, that's what it said on the bathroom wall. That's why I booked you.
Yeah.
I wrote it there. That's right.
All right, Jason, take it easy, buddy. We'll see you soon.
Talk to you soon. Thanks, man.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right,
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.